Hi everyone, it's Becca with the Football for Rookies podcast. I am back for another week. Like I said on my social medias, if you did not look, I'm gonna put them over here because my background is very backlit right now. Well, you know what I mean. I obviously this looks a little different than it did last week. I rearranged my room, so everything's a little different in here now. I'm trying to figure out filming stuff, but I'm going home for Christmas tonight, so next episode will be at my house. So hopefully the background looks good. But I will put all my social medias over there. I said that I am actually holding myself accountable and I have a lot of inspiration right now, so we're just rolling with it. We are just rolling with it. Oh, college football notification. Anyhow, this week's episode we are going to be excuse me, we are going to be going through all of the positions on the field and what they do. We're also going to be doing a week 14 recap and a week 15 what to expect. I said on social media that I was going to be doing score picks. I don't know 100% if I'm going to do that because it's a lot of work and I did not prep for that, but this prep, I have everything on my iPad right now. This prep took me all week because finals and a bunch of other shit. So we are going to get rocking and rolling. Before we get there, if you did not see my social medias, please, first of all, if you didn't see it, follow me on my social medias. My Instagram is at football.4.rookies. My TikTok is at football for rookies. And now I have a Twitter. Finally, it is football4, meaning the number 4 in rookie, because Twitter just has to be complicated and not let me do my username. On top of that, you obviously can listen to me on Spotify. I've always been on Spotify, but now I have a YouTube channel. I post almost anything I can on there, and it's been a lot of fun. And if you follow me on social media and you get to watch the post episode posted reels I make the editing very goofy. It is a lot of fun and it makes it more fun to watch. I don't have the time to do it when I edit these podcasts, but maybe down the road I could add some fun stuff. But anywho, yeah, we're now going to go into the all of the positions of the field and what they do. Can we do it? So first and foremost, we are going to do our week 14 recap. I am going to have my iPad over here. I know I said I really heavily scripted heavily scripted my last, my first 3 episodes. This isn't going to be super heavily scripted. I just have some talking points and notes that I can go off of, so I'm not just fucking and balling. So playoff implications and standings being shifted. The Steelers beat the Baltimore Ravens 27-22. They are now officially the first seed in the AFC North. The Steelers are 7-6, and the Ravens are 6-7. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers threw for 284 yards and for 2 touchdowns, and wide receiver DK Metcalf hauled a 148 yards, including a 52-yard strike on the way to the very first play. I honestly did not have the time to watch this game. I really wanted to move my iPad. I really wanted to, but again, finals stress, and I literally laid in bed this whole entire day, but I kind of wish I would have watched it now. There was a very controversial call that the refs ruled a Baltimore Ravens catch incomplete. John Harbaugh did try to overturn it post game. It did not go over well. Everything stands. Baltimore rushed for over 200 yards, but stalled in the red zone. A first half interception, a late goal line stand sealed the deal. And again, the Steelers are now at the top of the AFC North. I think the standings are not going to shift anymore. The Steelers have officially reclaimed being at the top. There's noises happening. I am sorry. So the next game that happened, which was a really snowy game. I love watching football snow games because it just makes it cool. The Buffalo Bills pushed the Cincinnati Bengals over the edge with a 39-34 win in a snowy game, and it also keeps the Buffalo Bills playoff push alive. While I am thinking of this, the other day, good old Adam Schefter, someone I look up to in this career, honestly. I strive to be him. Wrong button. He posted the standings for the Super Bowl, so I will go through that in a second. Bills quarterback Josh Allen scrambled to clutch 40-yard touchdown to spark the rally, and the key turnovers by Joe Burrow swung momentum. With the win, Buffalo improves to 9-4, staying among the top contenders in the NFL. The Buffalo Bills are now the 6th seed in the AFC West. Steelers are the 4th. In Green Bay, the Packers beat Chicago to retain place in the 1st seed of the NFC North. NFC North, yeah. So, but as of right now, in the wild card round, those two would be playing against each other. But we'll get there in a second. Monday night, Chargers Eagles overtime chaos and turnover nightmare. This was also the ESPN Monsters Fun Day Football. Everyone was like basically all like the reporters and stuff were Monsters Inc. characters. Los Angeles beat Philly 22-19 in overtime to stay alive. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts committed a bizarre 2-turnover sequence in a one play, a rare stat line that hurt Philly's chances, even with a tough defensive showing. I have a typo in my notes. 7 sacks on Chargers QB Justin Herbert. The Eagles offense couldn't keep it up. A lot of people were very upset with the Eagles' performance after Monday night. Twitter was going honestly insane because everyone's basically saying they're giving up hopes that the Eagles are going to go far. They're the 3rd seed at the moment, so they're not bad. They're still the reigning Super Bowl contenders. Like, certainly they're still on top, but they're the 3rd seed. Another thing that happened with that game, after the game, when the Chargers won, I always get the Rams and the Chargers mixed up, Justin Herbert was asked by a sideline reporter to do an interview, and he went, "I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to go celebrate with my team." In every single player for their contract, they have a whole clause in their contract saying that they have to do interviews. So after the Chiefs game, Travis Kelce walked off. He was mad. Understandable. He got hit with a fine also, but Justin Herbert was fined $75,000 after doing that, and that's, I mean, he has money because he's a NFL player, but whatever. The New Orleans Saints defeated Tampa Bay 22-24, ending a 2-game skid, and their rookie QB was great. Seattle Seahawks won against the Atlanta Falcons 39-7. Houston Texans beat the Kansas City Chiefs 20-10, officially ending the Chiefs' almost decade-long stand-in. They have been, the AFC West. Hold on, we'll ask Siri. What division are the Kansas City Chiefs in? They're the AFC West, yeah. So since like 2016, 2015, the Chiefs dynasty has always been at the top. They're no longer. That's not happening this year. So the official teams now eliminated from Super Bowl contention. Some of these we talked about last week, but obviously we're gonna bring them up again. Arizona Cardinals, Cleveland Browns, Las Vegas Raiders, New York Jets, Tennessee Titans, Atlanta Falcons, New York Giants, New Orleans Saints, and the Washington Commanders. Now going back to here with the playoff picture, the 1st seed of the AFC at the moment, excuse me, my glasses are falling, is the Denver Broncos, and then it goes to the New England Patriots, Jacksonville Jaguars, Pittsburgh Steelers, Los Angeles Chargers, Buffalo Bills, and the Houston Texans. And right now, as it stands, I almost said Broncos. It's the Broncos. The Broncos would have a bye week. The wild card round would be the Texans versus the Patriots, the Bills versus the Jaguars, and the Chargers versus the Steelers. In the NFC, it is the LA Rams with the 1st seed. Then it goes to the Green Bay Packers, the Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers, and the Chicago Bears. Like I said when I was talking about Green Bay and the Bears, they would have the first game with the wild card. The Rams would be on a bye week. The 49ers and the Eagles, and then the Seahawks and the Bucks. So it is honestly a whole like 180 because last year every single game it was Chiefs, 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 Chiefs. Now they are number 2 in the AFC West, and they have honestly no chance unless something happens drastically. They have no chance. So we are now finally, after almost 10 minutes of me yapping, going to get into this episode with all the NFL positions. The NFL positions are honestly very hard to understand, but you're watching a football game and you just see a bunch of men on the field. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know why they're placed a certain way. You don't know, like, why one's yelling. You don't know. You obviously know one throws the ball, but, like, they all do different things, and some are like, okay, yeah, the quarterback throws the ball, but like the defensive positions especially are very confusing. So we're gonna go with that. So the offensive side is the side that scores the points. They are the ones who are pushing drives down the field trying to get to the other team's end zone. So that starts with the quarterback, also known as the leader. He is always the leader of the offense. He gets told by coaches what plays to do, or he just picks plays and goes from there. Throws passes, hand the ball off, runs, reads the defense, and makes quick decisions. Some examples of quarterbacks: Pat Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs, Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy, and Jalen Hurts. All of these I do have examples of who is in that position. So if you are watching a game, you can like kind of figure it out. It makes it easier once you learn the positions. Excuse me. Everything else kind of like starts falling into place. Running back, halfback, it honestly depends on the team and like how they're doing it. Sorry, it's really windy in here. It's making noises and scaring me. They are also known kind of as a playmaker because they run the ball. They stand behind the football. They're the main runner. They also catch short passes, block defenders. If they honestly do like whatever they are told that they need to do. So examples of this, obviously 100%, especially now, Saquon Barkley. He is one of the best running backs in the NFL. Christian McCaffrey, Amarian Hampton, he is a rookie for the Chargers, and Jalen Warren for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Especially Saquon, Christian, and Jalen. Those three have been like top standouts all season. Then you have your fullback. They are a bigger, stronger runner. Their main job is blocking a path for the running back to be able to get towards the end zone, used in short yardage or power runs. I am planning on doing something like an episode of sorts about plays and like yardage and stuff, so we'll cover that down the line later. Some examples of this: Kyle Juszczyk, he is with the 49ers. Patrick Ricard, sorry, I can't read. Ravens, Reggie Gilliam, the Bills, and Alec Ingold from the Dolphins. Wide receiver, everyone always knows. Wide receiver is a very like well-known name in football plays. Usually one of the fastest players are usually some of the smallest too. Run routes to get open to catch passes. They create big plays down the field. That is when you are seeing like I don't know, we'll say Aaron Rodgers. Fuck it, we'll say Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers fucking throws that son of a bitch down the field. And it's like say he is at the 30-yard line, the Steelers' 30-yard line, and he throws to, I want to say it's DK Metcalf, yeah. 30-yard line, throws to DK Metcalf, who is on the 20-yard line of the opposing side. That is what a wide receiver does. They are really well known for getting really fast down there and making the big plays. So other than DK Metcalf, you have Ja'Marr Chase for the Bengals, CeeDee Lamb for the Dolphins. He was the one who was arguing about his contract last year. Justin Jefferson with the Vikings, and Puka Nacua for, I want to say, the Chargers. It's either the Chargers or the Rams, but like I've always said, I get those two mixed up so much. It's insane. Tight end, another like really well-known position on the field, especially now that Travis is like very prominent in the NFL because he's one of the greats. Hybrid between a lineman and a receiver. Block the offensive line. Blocks like an offensive lineman. They also catch the ball. They can also be a really big target for a quarterback. Athletic, versatile, whatever. Travis Kelce is a really big example. Pat Freiermuth for the Steelers. George Kittle for the 49ers. And Hunter Henry for the Pats. A very well-known like veteran, retired veteran of the tight end position, Rob Gronkowski. He is another one that's really big. So then you all get to the offensive line, also known as the wall in most cases. 5 players that protect the QB and create lanes for runners. You have left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, and right tackle. I do have positions for all of these, but like all the positions usually are the exact same. They can go on either side. Left tackle protects the QB's blind side. Faces pass, rush, runners, whatever. Jordan Mailata from the Eagles, Deion Dawkins, my bad, for the Bills, Tristan Wirfs for the Bucks, and Christian Darrisaw for the Vikings. I am getting so many ESPN notifications right now. Okay, so left guard blocks defensive tackles and also helps run pass blocking inside. Landon Dickerson for the Eagles, Quentin Nelson, Colts, Jenna Jackson for the Rams, and Damian Lewis for the Panthers. They're just defensive linemen are big. offensive linemen are big too, but we'll get there. The center, obviously, the game will not be able to go if the center is not ready because they snap the ball to the QB. They do the blocking protections. They block defensive linemen. I put an example on here that everyone knows, loves dearly. Retired, obviously, but Jason Kelce. He is one of the greatest centers of all time. Creed Humphrey for the Chiefs, Zach Frazier for the Steelers, and Ryan Kelly for the Colts are other examples. So I really, for right tackle, I do have some, like, more examples. Right guard is the exact same as left guard. They do the same thing as a left guard, just on the right side. The right tackle, strong run blocker, protects the edge of the right side. Lane Johnson, Joe Alt from the Chargers, Zach Tom, and Tristan Wirfs are really big. Like, Tristan Wirfs, I do have in my notes. He can go both sides. So that is the offensive side. Like I've said, obviously this is a very well-known fact. They are the ones who are getting the ball down the field. They are the ones scoring. They're the ones who, yes. So the defensive, they are trying to stop the offense. There's a lot of positions on the defensive line. A lot more than you would think. It's not just a bunch of big guys who stand there and push people, is what a lot of people have always said that. So, defensive end, they rush the QB from the outside. They stop runners from bouncing outside. They are usually ones who are your top sack leaders. So, of course, TJ Watt for the Steelers, Myles Garrett for the Browns, Minka Parson now with the Green Bay Packers, and Max Crosby for the Las Vegas Raiders. Probably four of the best defensive ends the league has ever seen in the entirety of the NFL, especially in today's day and age. Then defensive tackle, the big strong players in the middle, and they stop runs up the middle and pressure the QB. You also do get some sacks out of these as well. Cam Hayward is a really big example for this for the Steelers. Jeffrey Simmons, Mason Graham for the Browns, and Vita Vea for the Bucks. Nose tackle, used in a 3-4 defense. So that is use 3 down linemen, nose tackle and 2 defensemen, and 4 linebackers. Lines up directly over the center and takes on multiple blockers. And I have 2 examples for this one, Dexter Lawrence for the New York Giants and Ed Oliver for the Bills. Then you get to your linebackers. Middle-level defenders who do everything, tackle, cover, and blitz. Blitz is a sudden, overwhelming, coordinated attack. It's a lot of words. I understand, Latch, but it also, because I am planning on doing, a lot more, in-depth stuff with, yards and everything, plays and stuff. So knowing this, if you listen to this first, which please do, I really appreciate it, then you'll understand that as we go. So you have on your linebackers, you have your middle linebacker, quarterback of the defense, reads plays, makes defensive calls, main stop runner. Patrick Queen, he's now with the Steelers. Matt Milano for the Bills, Nick Bolton for the Chiefs, and Fred Warner for the 49ers are some examples of that. Outside linebackers, 3-4 outside linebackers. Most pass rushers line up on the edge. 4-3 outside linebackers, more balanced, cover wide receivers, and stop runs. Then your defensive backs, these players defend passes and cover receivers. Cornerback, cover wide receivers, try to prevent catches and intercept passes. So, most notably now, in his second year, Cooper DeJean is probably one of the greatest cornerbacks in the league. He was the one in the Super Bowl last year against the Chiefs who got that pick 6, and everyone was freaking out because he got a pick 6 as a rookie in the Super Bowl, which is insane. Some other ones are Sauce Gardner for the Colts, Trayvon Diggs for the Cowboys, and Jalen Ramsey for the Steelers. Then there's 2 different types of safeties. Obviously, you can go back and forth. If you're a safety, you're a safety. Free safety and strong safety. Free safety, the deepest defender, helps on long passes, reads the QB and tries to intercept. Strong safety, bigger and more physical, helps stop the run, cover tight ends. Examples of safeties, Minkah Fitzpatrick, that's not how you say his last name, Fitzpatrick for the Dolphins, and Kyle Hamilton for the Ravens. And then you have your special teams. So your kicker, obviously kicks field goals and kickoffs. Examples of some good kickers in the league, Brandon Audrey for the Cowboys, Harrison Butker for the Chiefs, even though he's very controversial from stuff he said outside of the league, Chris Boswell for the Steelers, and Jake Bates for the Lions. Then you have your punters, punts the ball on the 4th down. Sometimes the kickers do it, but they usually have like someone at the very least on their team who can punt. Brian Anger for the Cowboys, Riley Dixon for the Bucks, Johnny Hecker for the Titans, and Jack Fox for the Lions. Then your long snapper snaps the ball perfectly for kicks and punts. That is whenever, so say they're lined up on the 50 and they have to punt, right? They are snapping. So, like, say the 50's here, they're snapping the whole way back. So they have enough distance for the kicker to be able to get the ball up. Some long snappers, Andrew DePaula for the Vikings. I apologize if any of these last names are wrong. I'm trying my best. Luke Rhodes for the Colts, Josh Harris for the Browns, and James Winchester for the Chiefs. Holder catches a long snap and holds the ball for the kicker. Whenever you do see a field goal, any type of field goal, there's always one person who's holding the football. Usually it's the other punters, the other kickers, or a backup QB. There's not really someone who's on the field, like on the team specifically, just to hold the ball for that. Because honestly, you would have a very easy job if you did. Kick returner, they return the kickoff. Some examples: Braxton Berrios for the Texans, Avery Williams for the Bengals, Deebo Samuel for the Commanders, and Ray McCloud for the Giants. Punt returner, they return the punts. Cavante Turpin for the Cowboys, Darius Davis for the Chargers, Marcus Jones for the Pats, and Parker Washington for the Jaguars. Oh, okay. It took my whole entire document the whole way up to the top, so give me 1 second. Then you have your gunner, who sprints down the field and tackles on the punts. Some examples of that are Brendan Schooler for the Pats, Sam Franklin for the Panthers, Ben Sirkwaniak. That's not how you say that last name for the Steelers. I'm so sorry. And Jordan Whittington for the Rams. And then last but not least, your last position would be the jammers. They block the gunners. Chris Lamons for the Chiefs, Joshua Williams for the Chiefs, Keeson Nixon for the Packers, and Nazeeh Johnson for the Chiefs. The Chiefs have a lot. That's every time I was looking, that's all I got. So that is all of your NFL field positions. It sounds like a lot, but like the Ravens are signing nose tackle Travis Jones. You heard it here. Thank you, Adam Schefter. It ties him through 2028. Okay, so that's all the positions, and it sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo. But whenever you are like watching a game, if you understand the basics of where the positions are and what they are, it helps understand things a little more, and then you start like understanding what a first down is and everything, which we're like, I'll cover that. Don't get me wrong. Okay. So for the next about like 4 or 5 minutes of this episode, it's me going into all of my like predictions and ideas of week 15. Obviously, this is extremely outdated because, you know, we're going into Pro Bowl and Lombardi week. So if you don't want to listen to it, I totally understand. Skip ahead to the end, and I hope you're enjoying the episode. So now I am going to do my Week 15 preview. With only 4 weeks left in the regular season, this is where every game matters. There's a lot of teams who are still trying to who are in the hunt, wanting to get into Super Bowl playoffs, but they're still facing their pressure. One thing I don't have on here, which I do kind of want to talk about because, this week, Mac Jones for the Indianapolis Colts, he tore his Achilles, has to get surgery, season ends. Their backup QB is currently dealing with the knee injury. So the Colts did one thing I don't think many people were expecting this. They called up ye old Philip Rivers, who was quarterback for the Colts, and he retired in 2020. He is 44 years old. They brought him out of retirement and signed him to their practice squad. He is now not only the oldest player in the league, but he's now older than like 17 or 18 coaches in the league. So, yeah, Philip Rivers is back. So some top matchups for this weekend. I did not do all of them, but I do have some like big ones to watch out for. The Falcons and Buccaneers on Thursday night. They're NFC South rivals. The Bucs are favored at home with momentum in the divisional race, while the Falcons have some defensive firepower and personal milestones to chase. The Falcons are out of Super Bowl contention, so this is honestly like the Bucs are favored in this. Oh, it shot me up again. Okay, the Bills and the Patriots AFC East showdown. This AFC matchup is huge. The Patriots can clinch the division with a win, and while the Bills want to stay ahead and keep control of their playoff fate. Two strong quarterbacks, so Drake May for the Patriots and Josh Allen for the Bills, will be what does that English make sense? I typed this and I don't remember what it said. Will be focal points in what could feel like a playoff game earlier. So this game, from the notes I have, this part I actually did the other day, so I don't honestly remember it that much. It is like this game is it's obviously an AFC East matchup. Usually, if we go back to my rival episode that I did, rivals, especially in usually you have your division rivals. So like the AFC North is all a rival, the AFC East is all a rival. This would be this situation. The Ravens and the Bengals, both teams are near the .500 and trying to stay alive for the AFC. A loss could significantly dim playoff hopes for either club. So right now the AFC North standings is Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns. Browns have been eliminated, and I hate saying it this way, but I think whoever loses that game might end up getting eliminated too, because we're so close to being done with the regular season that, like, if you lose, you're screwed at this point. The Jets-Jaguars. The Jets are officially out of the playoff contention, but this game features a struggling offense in the Jaguars team, so it's probably going to be the Jaguars plowing the Jets. The Colts and the Seahawks. One of the most interesting games in Colts QB situation becoming a storyline, like I was talking about with Phillip Rivers. Other games to watch: Lions and the Rams, NFC battle with playoff implications, obviously. Broncos and Packers, Bears and Browns. So week 15 is going to be able to set the tone for the final stretch. Because like I was saying with the Ravens and the Bengals, if one of those teams loses, I have a really gut visceral feeling that they're going to get eliminated. Obviously, that we don't want that to happen. No one wants that, but elimination scenarios. The Chiefs could fall out of Super Bowl contention this week. It is highly possible. I don't remember who they're playing on the top of my head, but it is very possible. And then obviously injuries are going to be a big thing, especially last week with Colts quarterback Mac Jones being hit with an Achilles injury. Watch how teams handle injuries, because of the late season. Injury can derail the team's hopes of making it to the Super Bowl. So the bottom line, I actually have a whole little cutesy little paragraph for the bottom line that I did type, which I'm going to read. And I hate reading stuff that's scripted like this. I like being able to yap and yap and yap and yap. But, what is... Oh. Week 15 is one of the most important stretches of the NFL season so far, with divisions still undecided and several teams fighting for their postseason lives. Expect intense games, playoff-type atmospheres, and major swings in standings. Another thing that is happening this week that I know, the Steelers are having their color rush this weekend. I don't know if any other teams are doing it, but the Steelers will be wearing their black jerseys with their yellow numbers. I don't know why my brain just thought of that, but it did. But that's the one thing with getting closer and closer and closer to playoffs. Unless it's like I don't know. Let me think. Unless it's like the Broncos playing, look at the teams that are the Browns, because they're both AFC teams. Unless the Browns like somehow just show the hell up and beat the Broncos, there's not really much happening when it comes to the teams that, like, a team that's still in the Super Bowl versus a team that's eliminated. So those are the really boring games, because no one really wants to watch them, because they're like, oh, it's a team that's eliminated, whatever. But then you get to a game like, I'm trying to think of one. Like the Ravens-Bengals game, where like whoever loses possibly could be eliminated from Super Bowl contention. That is a whole different ball game. But yeah, it's your Week 15 recap. I will be possibly documenting stuff on social medias and stuff. I did share something for the Steelers, but like I had really quickly saw it, and then that was all I had time to do for that. But yeah, that has been this week's episode of Football for Rookies, going through all of the positions on the field with plus a full week 14 week 15 recap slash what to expect. I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to look at my social medias listed on the screen and check me out on Spotify and YouTube. I hope you have a lovely and amazing day. And I also have to say the tagline, NFL basics without the fumbles. And yeah, that's been this week's episode. I will see you guys next week. Bye.